Welcome to the losers bracket finals. It's a best of one actually only between the player in green spawning to the top left hand side, Sylvanas, playing Terran, and to the bottom right hand corner in purple playing Protoss, it's Poizon, who's obviously going to build a gateway first into gas, so no early shenanigans. Neither of those players just wants to cheese the other one, especially not on Frost. I mean, it's such a big map. I mean, nobody expects it, so I think you might even get through with a cheese here, but this time around it seems as if no one really wants to try it, because it could also just go terribly wrong if your opponent just prepares well, and you don't really want to take the chances with only one game to play in order to advance. So Poizon just going for the usual standard gateway expand build. That's so pretty common for a lot of Protoss players. In the meantime, Sylvanas just switches her command center into an orbital command while producing the first Reaper over here. That is going to help her scout the map a little bit more easily. In the meantime, we have the first SCV already arriving at the vertical spawn position, seeing that nothing is there. Throwing down the command center at the low ground once more. Sylvanas just hates to build it on the high ground, having to fly it down, because that usually just costs a lot of minerals and a lot of mining time, so you normally just don't want to do it. Okay, pesky probe just being pesky, trying to take out that SCV with the help of the probe. Okay, even making the Reaper return in order to kill off that probe over here. Okay, I mean, this probe is dead in the long run. It won't really be able... Actually, just gets a few more information. Did she actually just see that gas was going down? No, just barely not. So it barely died before the second refinery went down, because that would have been a great hint towards what Sylvanas' possibilities could be in this game. I mean, double gas actually could mean quite a lot of things. Mostly it's going to be some sort of factory into Stargate build, and then maybe some sort of early rush using mines, using tanks, or maybe even Hellions. Or she could actually just go into Banshees or Quick Liberators. So, like I said, there are quite some possibilities with that early gas production out here. But definitely a... Okay, early stim it's actually going to be. Definitely a starport right afterwards. So in the meantime, we have Poizon just trying to secure her natural base with the help of one pylon that will give her the possibility to overcharge. But of course, one pylon is also shot down pretty easily early on. And we'll see if Sylvanas just goes for a typical build she usually does, maybe even wants to get a Cyclone out. No, not this time around, in order to defend against like DT harassments or something like that. Or if she just watched a few of Miyako's games and maybe wants to copy our great senpai in order to push the opponent very early on with a heavy force, tearing her down before she has the means to defend herself. So Poizon just sending an observer across in order to get some more scouting done. Seems as if Sylvanas decides to play it a little bit more passive in order, because she just throws down a bunker, has a few Marines out here as well. Finally the starport is out, stim is still in the making, and the first medivac is also being produced, but unfortunately she's supply blocked heavily at the moment and is not even building a supply depot, which is quite odd here. So she will not be able to just produce any more units any further. So Poizon in the meantime just moving away supply-wise a little bit because of that little hiccup there in Sylvanas' production. Finally just getting down the supply depots, maybe even throwing down a supply call in order to get some production done while these depots are building. And now finally she's unsupply blocked once more. Still waiting. Okay, finally it seems as if stim is close to finishing. She has 2 medivacs produced. Only actually 10 Marines, which is not really that much of an awful lot. We already have 2 Stalkers in position here, but these are mostly there for for Widowmine harassment there. We also have some units that pack a punch down here as well. Also some time will pass until Sylvanas' forces will finally arrive at Poizon's base. So, and she will probably even have an observer in position as well. Just the best thing that could actually happen to you. And Sylvanas is even waiting a little bit longer before she finally decides not to move in, but just move away. Okay, that was actually odd. I don't know, did she actually see the observer? I think she did, right? I think she must have really seen that observer over here and is now trying to get to the third base location. Ooh, very unfortunate for Poizon here, expecting the army to move in from the back. And then Sylvanas just decided to attack the third base location, bringing Poizon to cancel her third base over here, and now just even keeping the medevacs in place, so she will always be able to just drop them down here once more, even trying to deny this base again. So in the meantime, we have then just one zealot scouting the potential third base of Sylvanas. Is probably not going, or is not going to see anything. So not too uncommon for a Terran that's actually attacking you so early to not have a third command center out already. I mean, it might have already been done inside the main base, but yeah, in the meantime, it seems as if Sylvanas just wants to lay back for a little more, gets up a sensor tower so that Poizon will not be able to move in with the warp prism so easily. So in the meantime, we have another drop down here at the natural base, and it seems as if Sylvanas almost just lost both of her medevacs there. Also seems as if this little push down here, or this little drop down here, didn't really manage to deal that much damage anyways. Okay, Poizon even hoping for Sylvanas to maybe just move out her medevac a little bit later, hoping that she could have been able to intercept it, but the medevac is already far away, so no possibility for her no possibility for her to cancel that. My god, it's not that difficult of a sentence. So we get the armory out as well. We already have 1-1 done in just a few seconds, and there it is. While it's only 1-0 for Protoss so far, but of course Sylvanas has, Poizon has her third base out way earlier than her opponent. I mean, third base is done, is now just trying to fly down to the third base location, but like I said, I mean, Poizon has already saturated her base almost completely. There's also a photon cannon in place. Think I would have liked it a little bit more over here, because this cliff is just infamous for Liberator harassment and also for units dropping down here and then just attacking the mineral line. So usually you just want to have your photon cannon a little bit further away, or a little bit closer actually to that cliff, because that makes it so much easier. So it seems as if Poizon just wants to move out, maybe attack the third base location. No, just moving out in order to secure and clear the Xel'Naga tower. Well, actually quite interesting. She just clears it, but she's not really taking it, which is a bit odd already. Don't really know what she wants to do there. Okay, throws down a pylon on here, prepares to take a fourth base as well, so she really wants to play the long drawn-out macro game. And that could actually just prove difficult for Sylvanas. I mean, usually as a Terran player, a drawn-out macro game against a Protoss is not what you usually want. You usually just want to harass your opponent to death in the mid-game, so that you will have the possibility to just kill your opponent off with a big push that your opponent just can't defend because she never had the chance to get up enough units. So Liberators, of course, will help out quite a bit, especially with the help of the Widowmines here. So just leapfrogging the Liberators while moving closer towards the third base location. But of course there's also a fourth base as well, so Poizon again can just easily abandon this if she wants, and then just take the fight a little bit later. Has to be careful, he just blinks in, kills the first Liberator here, no problem at all. So another Liberator just over here, but again, just Poizon will probably just easily break through, kills the other Liberator as well, and has too many units on the ground for Sylvanas to take with her ground force. Even the Stalkers just blink behind the units, might even get the full medivac with another blink, and there it goes down, even a second one, before Sylvanas finally just turns on the speed on the medevac and just safely gets it home. But at home there's only one Liberator left. a lot of ground forces as well, so Sylvanas seems to have to retreat for now. I mean, Immortals are good, not that good against Bioforces. I mean, maybe she would have been able to just take everything out, but with the Liberators and all the units reinforcing, it might have been a problematic fight. Sylvanas again just supply blocked like crazy. I mean, a lot of these barracks just haven't been working. That's why she actually has so many of them on only a 3-base economy, but with the mules just coming in and all the supply blocks, she must have just collected a lot of money she wanted to spend, so she just threw down a lot of barracks in order to make up for her missed production time. So, still on 2-2, so upgrades are looking fine. I mean, the longer this goes, as long as Poizon doesn't really have any good AoE damage, like Templars and Storm, or maybe Colossi, or even Disruptors, the army of Sylvanas just gets stronger and stronger with the upgrades and more units incoming. I mean, no harassment from Poizon whatsoever, the supplies are pretty even, but a pure gateway army against a gateway liberator army with mines and medivacs can actually not always hold. I mean, this army is still not that big, so the Bio Ball is quite small in comparison, so maybe Poizon can win a direct engagement, but it will be problematic against these Liberator if she really has to fight underneath those zones or really has to cross through them. So first Colossus is finally out, so this will actually help out tremendously. Poizon has to be careful just walking around, dancing around. Both armies are right now. Both have to be careful, and now a nice moving closer towards the front. But unfortunately, just leaving the Liberators alone, most of the army was just standing too far behind. Finally, Poizon gets the chance to clear off the Liberators, and the Liberators were actually the strong suit of Sylvanas' army here. So, losing off everything. I mean, most of the army just gets reproduced back at home, so Sylvanas is by no means out of the game. But again, she's just missed an opportunity to deal significant damage. And Sylvanas, Poizon, I don't know why, I just keep mixing them up. Poizon, mind you, has already taken a 4th base, is already in a 4-base economy, can now even take these gases once she starts to think about it, but she nevertheless has a lot of resources banked up anyways. But yeah, I mean, for Sylvanas it will now just become infinitely more difficult to take a 4th base. I don't really see where she wants to take it. I mean, I think Poizon should actually look for that base over there. Sylvanas just checks for a 4th over here, sees it's not done, might even assume that one has been planted over here. We will see if she just wastes, well, what you can't really say waste, if she invests, that was actually the word I was looking for. If she invests into another scan in order to make sure if there's a 4th base out or not. Otherwise, she might just be a little bit overconfident. So nice, a few Ghosts in the mix right now. Ghosts can actually just turn the tide of the battle in an instant. We have a lot of Immortals out here, so once the Ghosts just hit, the Immortals will lose all of their shields and the special shield power as well, I think. No, actually they don't, right? The special shield that's up for like 2 seconds will still be there. But yeah, I mean, losing a lot of shields, and not only the Immortals, but actually all of the Protoss units will lose a lot of health in form of these shields. And now the Protoss army is actually pretty clumped up. So let's see if Sylvanas can do it. Where are the MPs? Where are the MPs? There's the first MP, second one, third one, fourth one even, and a lot of hit points are lost. It seems as if Poizon might just barely hold, but of course the Liberators now also deal a lot of damage. More bio units are incoming. Colossus just tearing down everything, but of course Colossi are not as good anymore as they were in Heart of the Swarm, and it seems as if Sylvanas is finally able to just barely break through. More reinforcements are being morphed in. Sylvanas has to make, Poizon has to make sure not to let the Colossus die. It's her one last saving grace. Okay, even wants to lure the units back into the stasis ward, gets 1 unit only, and the rest of the Marines and Marauders are just coming forward. The Liberator is already out of game because unfortunately it's sieged right underneath that, or right above that photon cannon. More units are streaming in. I mean, this is becoming more and more difficult for Poizon here. She only has 1 real AoE damage dealer. Now the meat shield is gone in form of the Zealots. She's going to lose that Colossus quite easily. I mean, the Stalkers are firing at this Bio Forces right now, but they just get torn to shreds. In the meantime, more Liberators and Bio Forces arrive, streaming across the map, and it seems as if Poizon has to abandon that 4th base, sorry for that. Just has to retreat a little bit more. Finally, 2 Colossi are now in the mix, but it's 3-2 against 1-0. The Bio just stims through, breaks through the front forces, the meat shield, gets towards the Colossus, and finally all of Poizon's units have been killed. She drops down below 100 supply, is going to use her 4th base for certain right now, while Sylvanas in the meantime has finally taken a 4th of her own, and from here on out things just should spiral down. I can't really see Poizon winning that game anymore. The only resource she has more than enough is gas, and she really wants to get a Templar's Archive out. She already has made it. Maybe even wants to produce a Storm, but it will just take some time. She will be able to produce a few more Archons, but with the help of more Ghosts, even Archons shouldn't really do the trick, because even one Ghost Snipe can just take down so many shields. I mean, it's 100 damage. It's not like in Brood War where an EMP just killed off all your shields in an instant, and Archons were just totally useless in like one hit. But still, I mean, Ghosts should actually help out with Archons. The Archons don't really provide that great of a splash damage anyways. I mean, of course, Poizon doesn't really want to give up yet. It's a best of 1. She knows that she's out of the tournament if she loses against Sylvanas here. But yeah, I mean, Sylvanas, she has the better cards. She has 180 supply. She has a working 4th base. Poizon just tries to get a 4th base up once more, has finally managed to do so. So if Sylvanas just gives her a bit more time, she might actually even be able to do it. But yeah, I think this is just an attack that came way too soon. Yeah, just not enough units over here. The Tempest was just helping a little bit, but now the Bio just stems in. Was probably going to get just barely not one Colossus. Poizon, what are you doing? Just keep your Colossus safe. You don't want to lose them at all cost. It's the only thing that's keeping you alive right now. Okay, ooh, that was actually a good move there. Unfortunately, Sylvanas didn't really realize that there was a stasis ward down here, so a lot of units can't actually attack right at the moment, but unfortunately for Poizon, there's just nothing left to fight with. More units are streaming in from the left-hand side, and that should be game, ladies and gentlemen. 60-60. 1. There the supply is going down. Units are streaming in from every angle, taking out the 3rd base as well. Poizon is now sitting on actually only 1 mining base because the natural is dry. The main has been dry for quite some time. She's taking a 5th base, or she wants to take a 5th base of her own, but there's a Dark Templar down here that has actually even harassed that base as well. But like I said before, I mean, what's standing in the way of Sylvanas' forces and Poizon's army? Even DTs won't save her at all, because she just has scans available, so she will always be able to take them down immediately once they start chipping away at that army. And with the help of the liberation zones even, yeah, a lot of these zealots, okay, just run through, explode right into that bio ball, and Sylvanas takes the 1 game she needed in order to advance to the grand finals.